get to work.
Stuff is happening. We're moving the new frame into the garage. All right, I had a buddy come out here, help me move this thing, put the new frame in the garage. So excited. Also, he dropped off his razor. Check that out. So yeah, we're gonna get started. There's a few things I want to do to it today. Mainly, I want to go ahead and start mounting the fuel tank, the plastics that go here, the plastic on this wall, possibly the plastics on the back end, at least the bottom one. I want to start mounting some of the footwell or the floorboards, I would say, and then start installing like all the bracketry for the power steering and the brake system, the master cylinder, the power steering motor, and some stuff I do have to take off the old machine, and I got a freaking mess everywhere. Things are moving, things are happening. Check out this beautiful differential by the guys over at Ox with the Halo locker. We got our Wilwood brakes in and they look freaking sick. I was waiting for these to test fit with the knuckles to make sure there wasn't no clearance issues, because on stock knuckles you do have to trim a portion of the knuckle for these Wilwood brakes. But with the ZRPs, it looks like it works just fine. And then I do want to rip off a couple things off the old machine. Basically, the steering system, I need the power steering motor. I need the brake pedal because I'm going to reuse that. I do need this whole hub assembly, this whole setup with the wheel. And then the drive shaft. I do want to do the drive shaft because the drive shaft, obviously, is one of those things where it's gotta be like one of the first things installed, because if not, you're gonna fight it trying to get it in. And then hopefully the transmission I do want to send out to get cleaned up. So yeah, we'll remove that, but I will not, well, I don't know if I'm gonna remove it because it's kind of heavy. I'm gonna need a buddy, but I do have to remove it, so figuring that out. And then the steering rack I gotta remove as well. We're keeping that for the new machine. Holy grease monkey, I gotta clean that up and basically blow up the whole front end as well. I gotta remove these arms because we're reusing these arms. The powder coat should be perfectly fine. I might just, you know, give them a quick wipe down, but they should be fine, and I can at least hang the lower arms. Same thing with this one. This is good, as well as the shock brace. The gusset kit, I am gonna send out this one to get fixed because it's pretty rusted in some areas. But other than that, it's fine. Everything else, including the hubs, the brake system, the rotors, everything is new, so I don't need any of that. I really just need the arms. Another thing we got to do before we install this transmission, which we're not going to do the transmission today, but I do want to do, you know, as a precursor, the nut inserts, or not nut inserts, but they're like those backing plates with nuts built into them that go on the inside. I want to do all that stuff beforehand so I don't struggle doing it later. And yeah, a couple things here and there. Basically, just slap stuff together. Let's do it. Nothing is set in stone. I'm not going to start, you know, riveting everything on because I don't know if it has to come out for any reason. But for the time being, I at least want to get it in place because I need to figure out where I need to start making some cuts, because a lot of this gusseting, like this one you're seeing here, is going to be in the way. So obviously I'm not going to cut off the frame. We're going to cut off the plastic. So this has to sit in here. All right, something like that. So I need to start drawing up some lines and start making some cuts. And it's not just for this rear panel, it's for a lot of panels, including the ones in the front. So let me show you guys. These go right over here. And also, I'm gonna have to trim it here because there's a gusset that was added there, right? Same thing for the other side. And then the ones on the wall itself, I definitely want to get trimmed and cut now that there's nothing in the way, because later on, when the tank's in the way, when suspension's in the way, when the rack's in the way, it becomes a pain in the ass to try to reinstall or remove and reinstall this wall. So what we're gonna do is mainly focus on this one and those and all the cuts that we need to do, because this has a gusset that was added and I need to trim around this and kind of cut a slit perfectly, hopefully. Here's our fuel tank. we're gonna go ahead and cut this open. I did already get a new seal for it, as well as I have the top cap from Evo. I still need to go ahead and start, you know, swapping a lot of these parts over to my assembly, which is this guy. I got a new pump for this, and then obviously the top cap transfers over, so I gotta do that. But for the meantime, I'm just gonna put this in there for now, just sit it on top for now. Now this top cap was made for the Maverick R for the rising rate system with them, but basically it's the same thing. It's not even gonna be any different than any other system. The pump system is the same, so everything's gonna transfer over just fine. All right, this one's gonna be a little tricky because this guy's gonna go basically like this, right? And I need to get this one out of the way first. Basically like this, right? And it's gonna hit right there. I could just measure the actual thickness of here to there, and then just cut a little bit underneath it. It's gonna suck because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this super accurate, and then it's gonna look funky, and I don't want that. So all right, at least it's starting to look like something. We got the tank in there. Again, everything's just loosely bolted. All right, the trimming has begun. I'm gonna show you guys how I cut these off. We basically ripped off a whole corner off of here, and then just started trimming it until it lines up with the other side, as you can see there and there. And basically just kept cleaning it up until it was no longer touching. It might need a little bit. You see that little corner is rubbing, but it might be okay. I mean, it can flex a little bit as long as the rivet holes all match up. Boom, boom, we're good. Now I can't mount that yet until I get my cage adapters that go here. So anyways, we're gonna continue. That's cut. Now we're working on the fronts. They're basically gonna be the same thing for both sides. I did notice that not only am I gonna have issues here, but also here, because this is an added gusset by Side by Side Kings. I'm going to have to trim this probably, I want to say a good 3/8 of an inch to maybe 1/2 inch off, and then kind of just like, you know, corner it right here and still leave this available so I can rivet that in. And then over here, I basically tried putting it into place, right? Pushing it, and you can see where it stresses. So that's where my cut line is going to be. I'm going to mark that with a Sharpie, and then I'm going to slowly cut it, you know, maybe start off with 2 inches, and then see how that fits. If it doesn't fit, then I have to continue to go. I might have to go the whole way, the length of this guy, because it's not only sticking up here, but it's also sticking up back here. So I'm thinking maybe the whole way, which is not ideal, but we'll see. I might wreck these and have to order more. Who knows? But we're gonna try. All right, we trimmed up some panels. Let me show you what I've done here in the front. So this one's in. As you can see, I did do a slot here, and it doesn't look too bad. I wish I would have stopped about 1.5 inches so I wouldn't go all the way here, and it would probably, you know, stop right there and be fine. Also, there was some trimming needed on the inner here because of this gusset that was added. That fat part right here doesn't really want to sit in there. I'm just gonna have to freaking heat it up and force it. You won't be able to really see it. Same thing with this one. I'll heat this up, and then we'll put probably another rivet right here, and it'll be just fine. Looks good. Same thing for the other side. This one's a little bit worse because of this housing. Same thing. I'll heat it up and I'll make it work. It's not that big of a deal. Also, I started running some brake lines. As you can see here, these are made by Streamline Brakes. Braided lines, are these necessary in terms of the OEM to these? I want to say they do the same job. These are high quality, but the ones that come OEM aren't bad. I mean, so those are there. I also started messing around and added all this bracketry. I bolted it all down. The master cylinder is bolted down. These reservoirs are also bolted down. I do have to put a rivet in it. The fuel tank is already in completely. We have the larger fuel tank by Trail Tank. I already kind of put the fuel hat here from Evo, just sitting in there. It still have to be taken apart and you know, swapped over to the fuel sending unit. I had to buy a gas cap because I don't have one for this machine. I did start messing around with the forged carbon. Here's that centerpiece in the back, and it's gonna look so freaking cool. That forged carbon fiber, something different that not a lot of people have done. Some have, but not a lot. I still haven't got to this part yet though. I had to trim that as well. But overall, we got some progress here.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, update. We got all the panels off like we had mentioned. We already riveted down the floorboards except for that corner because I'm going to use that one. I'm going to remove it while I do the drive shaft, which I still haven't done. I started just getting stuff out of the way because stuff was stacked everywhere and we're just trying to get rid of stuff. So we got carbon pieces here, carbon pieces there. Oh, Jackass right there.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys?
Some carbon here, some carbon there. I mounted the belts in there because I want to throw away the boxes because they were just in the way. Beautiful in gold. Oh, I'm so excited, goddammit. Fuel tank is bolted down. They ain't going nowhere anymore. And yeah, I've just been doing a bunch of little things, guys. So these are already mounted, basically. These are screwed on. Huh? The Pro R still better? Well, we're going to work on some Pro R stuff. Right now, Oscar brought his arms. We're going to take out all the bushings and the ball joints so we can have these all powder coated. I don't know why you're powder coating these if you got another set over there. They're already black, like you. What is TDS, fool? TOS? Traileros?
No.
Or die? Or suck me?
Traileros.
Traileros or suck me? Anyways, we'll give you guys another update when I proceed. By the way, check out these cool hats from Willward. So, sponsored vehicle by Willward, so big shout out to them. Guys, did I show you this in the last video? I don't remember if I did. Holy hell, look at this differential. It is massive. This is a Halo locker. I got a big old smile on my face.
Smile on Frankie's face.
Oh man, I got a lot of work to do. We gotta do this. I gotta do the springs on this piece of shit.
This junkie?
Yeah, I gotta take it to SF tomorrow morning. Alright, we know this is an X3 video, but let's see if Oscar has bent any of his ball joints. Because I'm going to say he has not. I'm mainly looking at the rear one, or the lower ones. And they're good. Yeah, look at this, guys. Oscar freaking always trying to get good footage. That's why we like Oscar. Look at this. Woo! Destroying his freaking bumper. Alright, we'll get back with you guys again tomorrow while I work on that machine. And then we'll give you guys a little update again. Stinky? Oh, your little puppy. Go get it. Go eat it. Stop pretending. Go eat it. Go eat it. Oh, man. Go eat. Alright, this is day 2 of this video. We're tearing apart the old chassis. So what we need to steal from this chassis is the bumper, the shock tower brace, both arms, the shocks. We have new shocks coming from King for the new build. These, however, I will have to use them for quite some time until those get here because they were a long lead time. I think it was something like 7 weeks, something crazy. I don't know. So I won't be installing any of this stuff on the new car because obviously we're waiting for the differential to get anodized, and you can't really do anything else as far as installing the parts until that's kind of in there. Now over here, of course, we need the driveline. The steering system, I already stole off this machine last night. I do have to take the pedal off because I'm transferring that over. It's nothing wrong with that, nice and blue like I want it. And in the rear, I gotta take the trans out so I can go send to go get cleaned up. And then obviously I need to steal my train arms. Besides the train arms, I think we're gonna keep these rock knockers. There's nothing wrong with them. And then of course my sway bar. I think I might have another one in the back, so maybe we'll leave this one. I'm not sure, depending if I have that other one in the backyard. So the trans is going to be cleaned up, so it's not going to go in right away, but the driveline is going to go in ASAP, because after I put the driveline in, I can start assembling the whole center console, start putting all these carbon pieces into place, and basically assembling all this center section, which means I could put in the driver's seat and the driver rear seat, and basically be good in this area, and mainly focus on the suspension after I get parts back from anodizing. The combination of these colors, the blue, the gold, and this forged, you know, charcoal color, epic. Just looks freaking epic. I'm so excited. By the way, guys, as you're watching this video, we are getting ready for the Sand Sports Super Show, which is this Saturday. Tomorrow, hopefully, as I upload this video. Go check us out. We will be there. We will be selling Baja Designs lighting, a ton of it, as well as some Chupacabra mirrors, a ton of merchandise, shirts, hats, flags, basically everything we offer on the Stay Dirty Clothing website we'll have. So come check us out. We'll be out there with the boys and my wife. We'll all be pretty much selling as much as we can and keep this channel growing. Let's do it. Check out these. We installed some of these carbon bits just for mock-up, and so they're not floating around and get scratched. I kind of just mounted them, and we got black washers on there. Check out these gold ones. Just saying. Don't know what I'm gonna do, but stuff's getting done. All right, I'm gonna mount you up on my tripod, and let's get to tearing this thing down.
I spend my days in this despair, for in my mind you're still there. When nights turn cold and blue, how will I live without you? How will I live? I count the days since you've been gone. Wasn't you living? Somehow, some way, life goes on. I can't believe it.
All right, little update. Arms are off. Shock therapy race rack is also off. Gonna need a lot of cleaning. I must have over greased it the last time, and grease has been pushing out, which is okay. I gotta wipe down all the grease. I do want to clean up the drive shafts. Perfectly fine. Just wipe them down, clean them off, high pressure wash, and just wipe it off, and then probably install that in the new chassis. I got the brake pedal off, so yeah, I got a lot of stuff off. I'm running out of time here, guys. It's Thursday. I have to load up all this stuff and a bunch of wheels, tires, all the merchandise, racks, all sorts of stuff for the show tomorrow. I gotta verify, you know, we have Wi-Fi and the payment system works and all that stuff. So I have to end the video here, but just know we are working. I will hang these lower arms probably one of these days. I did notice that the blue on the chassis is a lot darker, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal. The lower arms are fine, the upper arms are fine, the bumper is fine, all the powder coat's fine on that stuff. The pedal is fine. I gotta hang that too, but again, I gotta wipe it down. I gotta change this over. What I'm gonna do is probably just unbolt that and get that ready for powder. The gusset kit, I do have a gusset kit on that machine. I do have to take off the gusset kit because I gotta re-powder that one. That one's kind of beat up. It's kind of rusty in some spots because it's been on there for many years. Even though the arms were refreshed, the gusset kit wasn't. At least I don't think it was. Anyways, so that I'm gonna send to re-powder coat. Yeah, I'll pull off the trailing arms probably after the show, and then I could probably hang those. Those are just fine. The radius rods, I do have a set of radius rods I need to send to powder coat as well. But overall, things are moving, guys. I hope you guys like this update. A big change for Big Blue. We literally have her in the garage now, and that's a big step for me. Every time I come in here, it's motivation because it looks shiny, it looks sexy. The color and the vibe of this gold, blue, and carbon is just, it makes me excited.
No homo.
This will be a many part series as far as Big Blue's rebuild. Thanks for watching this video. Shout out to the guys that you just saw on the screen. Those guys support me through Patreon or the YouTube Join membership here on YouTube. And like I said, we'll keep going. We'll keep updating you guys. And a reminder, come see us at the Sand Show tomorrow, Saturday, the 17th. Let's go.